Hi, I'm Tony the Flightless Stitcher coming to you from Matamata, New Zealand. Running a little bit late. I was going to do these monthly this year, and seeing I haven't done one since my whip parade at the middle of January, you can see that plan has gone very well. In my defence, we had an unexpected event. We lost our big black boy cat, Simon, in the 31st of January, and that threw me for a bit of a loop. That took care of pretty much all of February with crying and what have you, and resulted in this, Meet Harriet. We've had her for quite a few weeks now. I wasn't going to show it to you quite that quickly, but she's just hauled herself up. So yeah, this is the size of her. She is a teeny tiny little girl, but we got her a little bit sooner than my heart was prepared for, because our big boy Norman, who's 2 years old, he's a ginger and hiding from her outside somewhere at the moment, he wasn't coping very well. He could not handle, he was missing his mate, and at the end of February, there's going to be lots of noises, I'm sorry. At the end of January, at the end of February, we made the call to go and have a look at what was available. Oh my lord. At what was available, and my husband felt I was looking for something around 5, 6, 7 months old, a little bit bigger for my 2-year-old Norman too. Ow! This is gonna go so well. I'm so sorry. This is gonna be a shambles. I've just got home from doing exercise. I take exercise now too. That happened in end of February, early March as well. So I started taking exercise, and we just had 35 in a class this morning. So I've just got back from doing that. So yeah, sorry, back to the story. We lost our big boy Simon, and after I finished crying for approximately 3.5 to 4 weeks, we went to the local no-kill animal shelter looking for a 4, 5, 6 month old cat for my big boy Norman, because he was not coping being on his own. He was walking around the house just crying all night. He was keeping us awake. He was beside himself, so we went and got him a friend. I was looking for that older cat. My husband fell in love with this teeny tiny lint ball. She was 5 weeks old. They'd only had her for 24 hours at that stage. She was 5 weeks old. She was found dumped in a gutter. So we took her as a foster to foster fail, assuming that she got on with Norm, which I think she does. Norm's pretty much like, what is this? But she wanders around the house screaming all day. She's got so much energy, it's ridiculous. This is why I didn't want a kitten. I work from home. She thinks I'm her mother. She's now shredding tissue paper underneath me. So there'll be lots of noises, and I'm sorry about that. She'll probably put in 12 appearances. She hauls herself up on my legs. She's just learning to jump today, because she is a grand total of 11 weeks old today, based on the assumption that her birthday was a Wednesday. But yeah, she's just learning to jump today. She jumped up on the bed all by herself without having to haul herself up, so that was interesting. But yeah, it's derailed all my plans for what I was doing. Literally cried for 3-4 weeks at the loss of Simon. It was very sudden. It was a medical event. He wasn't run over or anything terrible like that. It was a medical event due to him being old, but it was very sudden, and it wasn't very much fun for any of us that were involved. But yeah, so enough of that. I'm sure Harriet will put in an appearance later. If you hear any noises, it's her being Harriet. So a few days after Simon passed, I thought, right, I hadn't stitched, so I thought I'd had a piece arrive that I had been wanting to work on for quite a long time, and ow! Sorry, that's going to happen a lot. I can't put her in outside of the room, and like I said, I've just got home, so she's like, yay, you're home. But yeah, anyway, this was my unicorn piece. I managed to pick it up off of Trade Me not that long ago. It's Strawberry Kreek design Flying Leap. Out. No, get off there. So that's Flying Leap. And because it's a black cat and a pot plant, hopefully I remember, I've actually got a picture of Simon from when he was a bit younger and a bit healthier, when he used to sleep in my strawberry plant. So that really felt quite personal. It is also the worst pattern I have ever tried to stitch from. But I'm stitching it on Forbidden Fibre Co. Granite in a 36 count. But I'm using the cord 4 because I hate Ada. I'm not an Ada stitcher. And as you know, most of these charts, you get some nice Adas out there actually, to be fair. And I have started getting a couple, but I can't be dealing with that crunchy Ada that comes in most kits. So that's how far I've gotten. I've made half a cat butt. Get off there. I've made half a cat butt. So that's as far as I've gotten. This is going to be a complete train wreck, and I'm really sorry. She will get better as we get older. So that's as far as I got with that, and then I had to put it aside because the chart was doing it in my head in, and in all honesty, I've completely gone off the boil. I have actually stitched a lot, but at the same time, I haven't stitched at all. And yeah, I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but there we are. So let's put that up there. Stop, Richard, you little... Ow! Stop it! So from there, I thought, I'm struggling with everything at the moment. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. We'd had him for 15 years. He'd been through everything with us. A lot of moves, a lot of what have you. It absolutely broke my heart losing him, especially because it was so sudden. So from there I went, I can't stitch. So I actually pulled out all those old UFOs that have been sitting gathering dust in the bottom drawer somewhere that I refused to do, but I refused to throw them out because there was too much good fabric attached, and I took all the stitching out on about 4 of them. So I sat there for 3 or 4, 5, 6 days, just quick unpick, taking them out, careful, and I ended up with some good size fabric. So I had this giant piece of white 28 count Evenweave. So I was like, what am I going to do with this thing? Because, like, seriously, she'd be huge. She is huge. Huge big piece of fabric. So for a very long time I have been wanting to do the Long Dog Sampler Pandemic. Probably a lot of you might remember it. But I thought, well, giant piece of fabric. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to do it 1/1 because I don't want it to be the size of an entire wall on a 28 count if I did it 2/2. So I'm doing it 1/1, and at the same time I found a DMC variegator that I absolutely fell in love with, which is 4065. That's actually showing it up absolutely beautifully. I love this. So I thought, I'm going to do it in that. So I'm doing it 1/1. And that is as far as I've gotten so far. So it's a bit of a small start. There's a couple of 100 stitches there, but we're off, and it's a good start as far as that is concerned. Are you going to behave yourself? Okay, you eat that. Right. Then after I stitched on that, I was like, I couldn't settle on anything. So I was just going through my old stuff. I was actually sorting out a big bag of whips. I went through all my charts, sorting out the must-dos before I die from the I'd like to do some point in the futures, and I've put all the must-dos before I die into one place. And while I was doing that, I went through my whips, again prioritising, looking to see if there was anything to get rid of. I got rid of nothing. But I need to finish some of these. So all the plans that I've had at the beginning of the year, I was going to work on this for this many days. I was going to work on that for that many days. I had a 25/7. I've had I've got a rainy day project, all those sorts of things. Sorry, she's chewing on a packing slip at the moment, so we'll let her. Oh, hang on, no, not that. Chew on the packing slip, not that. She's an absolute menace, honestly. She's the cutest menace, but she is a menace. So I pulled out and finished because I just sat with it because it was a nice easy stitch. I sat with Halloween Candelabra by Lakeside Needlecraft until I'd finished it. I was about halfway. I'd finished Boo in the middle, except for the back stitching. So I did the back stitching. All of that is back stitch. There was so much back stitch. So then I went on to Beware and I finished that, and then I came across and finished Spooky at the end. So that's a complete finished. Now this is on the Lakeside Needlecraft printed Evenweave and 32 count pumpkin. They do all their Halloween ones on pumpkin from what I can figure out. So I've just finished that one, and Mad Morty finished that quite a while ago herself, and her and I were actually talking because we've both got a couple of other Lakeside ones, so we might start one up this year. We'll see. But yeah, so that one's ready to frame. Or turn into a pillow. I think I might turn it into a pillow actually. I don't know if I want to frame that one. I'll figure it out. Look forward to that. So now I've still got a few here that I have stitched on this year because we are now the 1st of April, 2nd of April today. 1st of April is my daughter's wedding anniversary actually, so I knew that. So these aren't in any particular order. These are just taken from what's happened as I pick stuff up, but I've gone off the boil. So a lot of things haven't been worked on at all. So I was doing Modern Folk. Ouch, ouch. Excuse me, miss. I was doing Modern Folk embroideries. Oh my goodness. There's going to be a long video of this. No, don't eat that. Get on the ground. Off you go. Where was I? Modern Folk embroidery. Okay, let's go back. I'm just using my Notion at the moment because I can't remember the name of it right now. I think Cat Stitch she's been going great, and we were actually going to do this pretty much together this year, but that's not what has happened. So this is Modern Folk embroidery, No Time Like the Present. That was last year's sale. I'm using Threadworx Rocky Mountain, which is the dark colour. I'm using Kaylee's Cranberries in Threadworx for the darker red, and I'm using Cottage Garden Threads Dragonfly for the brighter coloured pinky orange. And I'm just picking and choosing where I want to go with those. Turn that around so it's not so printy. But I've got January done. That was all done before Simon passed, and I haven't touched it since. She will be coming back out again, but when, to be honest with you, I can't tell you when anything's going to come back out again. It will come back out again when it comes back out again. But I've, like I said, gone off the boil. So that's as far as I got with that. I'll try to endeavour to put up a picture of that. Any of these coming up, I'll try and put up a picture before I post. But yeah, okay. I have pulled out my Halloween Quaker by Lila Studio a couple of times. Oh, sorry, that is being stitched on just a straight white 40 count. Lila Studio, I'm using all the called for fabric and colours, but I'm doing it on Murky 40 count. 40 count seems to be my jam these days. There's a lot of people that have switched to 40 count. Oh Lord, she's eating a post-it note pad now. It's post-it note, can have a hole on it. So that's as far as I've gotten with that. What I have put in since is all of this here, and I think I popped in that one down here, which you can hardly see in this lighting, but trust me, there is one there. And I think I did the hat. I've done the hat this year as well. I've been using this as my travelling project, to be honest, because it's all kitted up with all the cool floor flosses, which aren't down here at the moment. But yeah, so I've been doing that. I've had my rainy day project out quite a few times because although it hasn't rained for most of January, we did have a bit of rain earlier in the year. I have made some good progress. I have managed to finish this is Mythical Creatures, I want to say 2021 stitch along from Paint Free Craft. So very, very far behind on this. I did it on this is on a 28 count Evenweave. No! Stop it! 28 count Evenweave, just in straight white, and it's huge. I wish I'd had the brains to do something a bit smaller, but I didn't trust myself at the time. So this is as far as I've gotten. So I finished that, and I'm just about to go onto the border on the other side. And this year I have managed to so far complete the L and the M with a cat hanging off the bottoms. What was that? Oh, there you can have. So yeah, I've just finished the L and the M, so the Leviathan and the Mermaid, and those have both been done this year, and that is the most stitching that's been done on it since 2023. It's supposed to be for my granddaughter. It was supposed to have been done by the time she was 2. She turned 6 in 3 weeks, so that's going well. And then I have my 25/7 one, which I'm running. Oh, I didn't do it at all during February. Didn't even pick it up. Didn't even look at it. I didn't look at terribly much of anything, to be honest with you, in February. And I did pick it up again and have pretty much stayed on track except for the last few days in March. So I've managed to, I'm finished. Shoot. I managed to finish doing a couple of rows here, and then I have taken it and I have actually done pretty much from here across. So there's probably a good, I want to say 10,000 stitches in there that I have achieved, and I'm loving how this looks. This is Final Heat by Bob Byerly. He was the artist, and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I'm doing this on a 28 count even weave. Finally, and this is only in the last couple of days, I have picked up my Artsy Housewife Within a Dream, which looks like this. It was a tier 4 Patreon chart, which I am completely addicted to Artsy Housewife at the moment. I've got so many of her charts, it's ridiculous. And I am level 4 Patreon with her, just because I love her charts, but I might have to button that back soon, just because how many charts can one person have? But as soon as I do, I know she's going to put out something and I'll have regret. So I've had that pulled out. Now I actually did this, if anybody was paying any attention during my whoop parade. I have been stitching this with Roxy Flosco's conversion. Used to be known as Leo and Roxy, then now Roxy Flosco. So I've done that conversion with these beautiful threads. Will I ever get these again? Possibly not. Only because by the time the conversion rate came into play and the postage and packaging, they should be gold plated. But yeah, I had that out again the other day. I am stitching this on something. What am I stitching it on? Okay, I am stitching this on a color Cascade fabric in 40 count, and it in the colorway Candy, which is a beautiful purple color. And that is as far as I have gotten. So I've just been doing some fill around the border. I've got my couple of colours filled in on that. So yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely. So yeah, that's where we're at with that, and that is all the stitching that I have done recently. I have a couple of projects that I am moving towards. Don't eat that. Stop eating things. No, give me that. Off. Off does not mean come back and attack from a different angle. I'm about to start a moth by the M is for Moth by the Artsy Housewife. Hopefully I'll pop up a picture of it if I can find one. It's again a Patreon chart, and I'm going to do that for my daughter, and she picked this fabric to do that on. So scare yourself, did ya? She's just pulled everything off the chair. It's a good thing it wasn't stitching anymore. It was just one project bag, the one that this was in. But it plonked her on the head and she's done a bolt. She's under the bed now in the spare bedroom. My office, which is where we're situated right now, is right in front of the spare bedroom. So she's in there hiding under there. She'll come back out again though. She's not scared of much. When we brought her home, she arrived in the cage. I took her out the cage. She was only about that big. She was just a little furry ball. She's actually, I know she looks black, but she's actually chocolate brown, a really dark chocolate brown. And when she was 5 weeks old, she actually had all her baby fur on still, and she had quite a rusty looking baby fur, a dark rusty colour. She was just a screaming lint ball, but yeah, we took her out. I put her on the ground. She looked at me and she was like, "You my mum?" And then she looked at me and she goes, "This my house?" And she was like, "Okay." And she went and played. She never went under any of the furniture. She's not scared of much. She's back. She's just done a circuit through my master bedroom, the ensuite, and back out here. So yeah, so this is what is it? It's a 40 count Vindel by Banana Oil, and if anybody's ever used them before, they don't have names. So Emma's for Moth is going to go on that. Sorry. Yeah, you purr. Okay, you gonna be a good girl? Hey, you gonna be a good girl? Don't ever get a kitten. Now, what are you doing? What's that? Are you going to be fighting with your brother again? Okay. So yeah, that's where we're at with all of that. Yeah, no, I was right. There was nothing under there I needed. Okay, so I'm actually going to wrap this up because she's chewing on my ankle now. I'm going to wrap this up real quick. So, what's coming for the next month? Hopefully I find my mojo again because it's seriously lacking. Get this floss tube up. I think this is going to be my shortest floss tube ever. Ow, 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 ow. Hopefully the kitten stops being a kitten before the next one. Hopefully I can get another one up in around the 1st of May. Oh, actually that was something that I didn't do. Sorry, reminding myself. The kitten is so distracting. If you don't know, I run the New Zealand ATC swap for cross stitch, and our most recent one was autumn, and so I did a double of my own one. So I actually stitched Bendy Stitchy Designs Autumn Acorns. Now I only ever stitch these on scraps that I throw into my scrap bin. I have no idea what I'm stitching on, to be honest with you. It's just stuff. I've got a bag, I throw all my scraps in there and I just pull out something that's going to be appropriate for what I'm doing. So yeah, our March 2025 swap was for autumnal vibes. So I did Autumn Acorns by Bendy Stitchy Designs from the Just Cross Stitch magazine, October 2023, and that's what that looked like. Trying to keep that away from the glare. And the swap that I received, I'm not going to use her name or anything, but this was the one I received in return, which is just beautiful. Look at all those leaves. Definitely hit the brief with that one. Okay, now thing before I wrap up, I have been watching a lot of Flosstube while I was lying on the couch feeling very sorry for myself. So I'm just going to try and remember to do one shout out a time if I can. And the one I want to shout out is Wendy from A Stitch in the Matrix. Not that she needs any shout outs from me, but if you're looking for somebody, excuse me, like I said, ran aqua this morning, my throat's a bit, because I have to shout, 35 people in a pool, undercover, I have to shout very loud. So Stitch in the Matrix, Wendy. I found her through just after Christmas anyway, possibly during, I think it might have been one of her whip parade or something like that. But I love watching her. She's incredibly entertaining. She doesn't need me to shout her out. She's an absolutely amazing woman to watch. She's fun, she's giggly, she laughs at her own jokes. She's just an awesome person and a beautiful soul. So if you're looking for somebody new to watch and you've not caught up with Wendy, that's A Stitch in the Matrix. So go and have a look at that. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up right about now because the tiny terrorist is just beating up my couch now, which is, at least it's not me, but she'll be back to me in 5 seconds because she likes to haul herself up on me. So I do apologise once again for the complete schmozzle. That was my Flosstube this time. This is the quickest Flosstube I have ever put out. Most of you probably haven't understood a word I've said because I've probably talked too fast, but there we go. So until next time, look after yourselves, look after each other, and keep on stitching.